so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ms. Sharp, owner of Dreams Gone Mobile, and today we're here with a special guest, and his name is Lewis. He is the owner of XPRESS Tax Refund, and I'm just going to hand it off to him so he can explain everything that he does.
Hi, my name is Luis Montañez for my Latino people. What I do is I specialize in tax preparation. I do business bookkeeping, and I also do entity formation. So if anyone looking to get their taxes prepared, whether business, corporation, S corp, whatever the case, we do those. We do business bookkeeping for those who want to maintain their books like they should be maintaining them. And it's just, we've been doing it for 7 years now, so we've been in the Tampa area, 5 stars on Google, check us out. So we just like to make sure our clients are going the right way about things and on the right path, stay out of trouble.
Nice. So just a fun fact, guys, he does my taxes, y'all. So he's the one who keeps me in check when it comes to the books.
How many years we've been doing your taxes?
A long time, a couple years. Yeah. It's been a long minute ever since.
At least 3 years, I think. This will be the 4th year, I think.
I think so, yeah. I think so. Or at least since I've been in business. I think, because I've been in business since 2019.
Yeah.
So 2020, you would have done my 2019 taxes. Yeah. So I've been in business for 5 years almost. So yes, he's been preparing them ever since. So if you ever need something, he's here for you. Do you do out of state as well? I
do out of state. We do remote preparation. We have a secure portal that you upload all your documents to. So you don't have to worry about any kind of anyone accessing your information.
Awesome. Okay, so let's start with a couple questions because I know a lot of people have a lot of things that they love to ask, and so I wrote down a couple common questions that we can ask him today. So the first one I'm going to start off with is, why should people not start off registering their business as a sole proprietor? And what is it exactly? So
a sole prop is just somebody that is self-employed. They're not registered. They don't have a formal entity. And that's really what just a sole prop is. You're out there working for yourself, and when you file your taxes, you're not a registered business. You don't have a employer identification number, an EIN, and you're just a sole proprietor. You just handle your own business.
Is there any benefit to that at all?
It's not. There's no benefit as opposed to like an LLC, which an LLC, getting into that, and I know we're gonna go there soon, but an LLC is the next step up from a sole proprietorship. That's what you want to do if you are in business working for yourself. You definitely want to register as an LLC so that you have your protection to where your personal assets are separate from your business assets.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the main benefit of an LLC.
Yeah, I agree, because I always tell people if you want to start off a business from scratch and take it easy, LLC is the first way to go.
And the main thing with that is, I know as a sole proprietor, you're used to just doing everything out of your personal checking account, your business expenses and your personal. When you become an LLC, you have to separate that.
Right.
Because the whole purpose of becoming an LLC is to separate your personal from your business. So if you are working out of your personal account, then they have access to your personal account in the event of a lawsuit or something. So always keep business separate.
Which is really important, y'all. Like everything. And we're going to talk about a lot of other things that are going to be gems that he's going to drop today. So we're getting into that. So now talking about the LLC. A lot of people have questions about payment and how they get started with getting paid, which is another conversation we'll have. So let's talk about the difference between an LLC and an S corp.
All right, so an LLC is what's considered a disregarded entity. You have the limited liability protection for your personal assets, but as far as it comes to taxes, all the business activity goes on your personal tax return. So you have a Schedule C that all the business activity is put on there, income, expenses, and what's left over is your net profit, and you're going to pay self-employment tax, and you're going to pay regular ordinary income taxes. The S corp is a separate entity. You file your taxes, business taxes, on a totally separate income tax form. It's the 1120S, and all your business activity goes there. the business doesn't get taxed. It's like a hybrid between an LLC and a C corp.
Part again,
Okay.
you get the benefits of the C corp.
So you get the benefits of the C corp along with the benefits of an LLC, it being that it's a disregarded entity. So yeah, the S corp files a totally separate return, and the benefit of that is you get the pass-through treatment of a LLC with the benefit of a corporation. So the business itself doesn't pay taxes.
Okay.
It passes through to your personal return. But the way it passes through isn't like an LLC that all the money is taxed as self-employment. You don't pay the 15.3% for the self-employment taxes.
Right.
So it comes through as sort of a distribution onto your personal tax return, and it's ordinary income. So you save 15.3% on the profit. But you have to be on a W-2.
yeah.
You have to take what's called the reasonable salary.
Right.
So the S corp has to pay you as a shareholder employee a reasonable salary.
Right, which is my next question.
Yes.
Which is, when should someone start actually paying themselves?
Well, if you're an S corp, you have to pay yourself regardless, because you are the owner operator of the S corp. You're the shareholder, and you're the one doing everything. So you have to pay yourself something that would be considered reasonable. So let's say your business is, making $100,000 a year, a reasonable salary for the things that you would be doing. There's no set percentage or amount. That's why they say reasonable salary. So IRS has schedules that you can follow to kind of get an idea of what the reasonable salary. But rule of thumb, I say maybe 40 to 50% of what the business. That kind of gets skewed as your gross amount gets higher.
Okay.
Because if you make $1 million, you don't necessarily have to W-2 yourself $500,000. You just have to W-2 yourself what you would pay somebody if they were doing your job. So then it becomes a little more trickier. As an LLC, there's really no reason to pay yourself because everything goes on the same form. It's on the personal return, so you're just like subtracting it from your gross to add it back as income in your on the same form. So no real reason to pay yourself as an LLC. Yeah.
Okay. And then you do recommend that once someone gets to a certain threshold of income, that they can actually elect themselves from an LLC to an S corp?
Yes, yeah, because the S corp is it's an election with the IRS. It's not a entity type as an LLC, as a C corp, as a sole proprietor. It's not a type of business. It's just an election with the IRS that says, hey, I'm an LLC, or even for C corps, they could take an S corp election and say, I want to get taxed as a subchapter S corporation. Yeah. So, and then at that point, you're in the eyes of the IRS, you're an S corporation. You're still an LLC, but you're being taxed as an S corporation.
If I were to register my business as an LLC with Sunbiz, and that's for the state of Florida, obviously every state is different, can I still amend my documents for the new year to change it into an S corp, or does it matter?
So the election can be done, it's supposed to be done within a certain time frame of when you register the business.
Okay.
But you can elect to become an S corp later down the road. There is an exception that you can apply for, and normally it gets accepted. It just becomes a more difficult process because there's more involved when you've been in business for 5 years and now you want to become an S corp. There's assets because now it's a separate entity now, and all the assets have to be brought into the S corp because now it's a separate entity. Everything has to be, but it's an election with the IRS. It's called the Form 2553 S corp election, and you just pretty much fill it out, and then you put when you want to be treated as of when you want to be treated as an S corp, and they either approve it or they'll deny it and tell you why, and then you could go from there.
Okay, so this is a good question because a lot of people don't even know this and are not really educated in this information. Why is it important to keep track of write-offs?
One, because a lot of write-offs slip through the cracks. if you don't keep track of them, you're not gonna remember all of them. You're gonna just think of the big ones, and all those little ones, they add up. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if the IRS, if you put a deduction on your tax return, the IRS has the right to ask for the proof. And if you keep track of all the proof, then you don't have anything to worry about. But I recommend that, you know, you definitely hold all your receipts of all your purchases, just throw them in a file, take a picture. Now with a lot of the softwares, you can take a picture, stores the picture, and like that, you always have it. Because in the event of an audit, you're gonna need it. If not, they're gonna disallow the deduction, and you're gonna have to pay the tax liability, whatever that amount was.
Right.
So, and plus interest and penalties. So you
Right.
definitely wanna keep good records. That's one thing, and a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't.
I don't.
But that's
I'm guilty.
and the IRS knows that, and depending on what agent you're assigned, they, you know, some of them are nice, some of them are by the book, and they will not work with you at all. So it's best just to keep the records and hold on to your receipts, and you actually, it benefits you because you keep track of that stuff, and before you know it, you have, you know, 5,000 more in deductions than you would have had otherwise because you didn't keep track of it.
Right.
You know? So it definitely adds up. The little ones add up more
Yeah.
than you think.
Wow.
But yeah, definitely important to keep record.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, final question, and I'm gonna wrap it up because I know you have things that you have to do. What are some examples of some write-offs that you would say for any food truck business owner?
Okay, so the food truck business is just like any other business. Anything that is ordinary and necessary for business is a deduction. If, you know, all the food you buy, that's cost of goods, that's a deduction. The equipment that you buy, there's you know, limits to how much you can actually write off in 1 year, and then the rest you have to like depreciate, use depreciation. They also have bonus depreciation for some equipment and stuff. But so food, supplies, mileage, every time you go buy supplies, every time you go, anything that's for your business, keep track of it. You could have bought something as simple as, you know, your pots and pans,
Right.
your pans, because you got supplies that you buy for the actual operation of the business, then you got supplies that you buy for the administrative part of the business.
Right.
So like, you know, computers, printers, paper,
POS
pens,
systems.
POS systems,
Okay.
any monthly recurring fees that you
Maintenance.
pay for
Yeah.
your transacting fees, your
Right.
processing fees, and what are some other good ones? Your uniforms that you buy, your clothes for there.
Employees, if you have some.
A tricky one is meals, right? So meals, they're deductible if it's for a business purpose. So if you're going to meet a potential client, or if you say purchased a meal for one of your employees,
Right.
that's deductible, 100%. So yeah, they're changing those laws. Like this year, I believe it is still the same as previous years. For 2023, 2024 now, I believe they're back to the 50% for the business meals.
Okay.
Whereas last year, because of COVID, and the year before, they had it at 100% for business meals. But
Interesting.
yeah, because they won't allow you to deduct the meal you paid to feed yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because they know that, although it is 100% deductible if you are traveling.
So if y'all know, you know, you can actually deduct things like event fees and things like that as well. And if you are traveling out of state to go to a state fair or some type of festival, and you're meeting with the coordinator and you purchase their food or whatever, like he said, you can definitely deduct that.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't know the specific rules on meals. And they think that they could just live out of their business account with their meals just because they're working and they feed themselves.
Right.
It's not like that. Only if you're traveling,
Right.
you could deduct that.
Fair enough.
But if you're home and working, yeah.
No. You gotta still pay for
Still
all of
gotta
that.
pay, yeah.
So what is the best advice that you can give when it comes to just doing your taxes in general?
Record keeping.
Okay.
That is the best thing you can do is record keeping, because as your tax preparer, you're gonna come to me and you're gonna say, okay, this is how much I made, this is how much I have in expenses.
Right.
And then I have to break it down, because there's categories and there's stuff that I have to break it down and put it on the return, so it's, you know, getting filed according to the way it needs to get filed. And if you have all those already categorized, then the process is way much simpler.
Okay.
And way more effective for you as the taxpayer, the business owner, and because the name of the game is save money.
Right.
And with record keeping, you're gonna save money.
Okay.
I promise that. Yeah.
Okay.
Save money.
Well, thank you so much, Louis, for having me here at your office to shoot
Thanks
this
for
video.
having me here on your show.
Of course.
Definitely,
of course.
appreciate it. And if anyone out there needs any help, any advice, any services, we do LLC formation, S Corp, C Corp. We help with bookkeeping, and we do tax preparation. That's what we specialize in.
Yes, and do you have a website that they can visit
We
you
do.
at?
It's XPRESSTaxRefund.com. XPRESS refund.com. No E on Express. That's major, because there is another one out there that has an E on it. But we are Express Tax Refund.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Louis, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, drop on the comments below, and I will also have his website there in the comment section. Bye!
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty.